Have a seat, cross the legs, and then sit really tall. Draw the shoulders up and drop them down. Wriggle through the shoulders, give them a little shake. Turn the palms face up. If you need to wriggle on the seat, then do so. Get comfortable. I'm going to be here for a couple of minutes, so find an easy, comfortable seat. And then just start to focus on the breath. Not controlling or worrying about the size or the length of the breath yet, just meeting the breath as it is. So that easy, continuous, steady breath. Use it to help you come into your practice. So find focus, find your awareness, notice how the breath feels, how the body responds to the breath. Our breath is kind of pivotal to the practice. It's the anchor that holds us within the practice. So if we start to wander, just bring yourself back to that breath at any time. So maybe it means you rest in child's pose, just recollect the breath, or in your down dog, or when we're standing in Tadasana. Lots of opportunity to come back to the breath, to come back to your focus, stop you from wandering. And in your seat there, notice whether you're having to hold yourself in that seat, whether it feels quite forced, or whether you're able to relax in that seat. It might be a part of the body that's screaming out to you in the seat, maybe the shoulders, the hips. If that is the case, maybe that part of the body is your focus for today's practice. It's going to be predominantly an upper body kind of practice, but there will be lots of opportunity to open the hips and the hamstrings. So think about what you need from the class, and then make sure you focus and give that part of the body some attention as we start to move. Bring the hands to the side of the rib cage, so they're just to the side of the body, the lower ribs. Take a big breath in, push the ribs out into the hands. And a big exhale, push the ribs down. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. 2 more big breaths in. And out. Your final breath, encouraging the rib cage out to the side. And then exhale, just let the ribs soften. Bring the hands into prayer heart center. Reach the prayer up towards the sky. Interlace the hands. Stretch the heels of the hands up towards the ceiling. And then side bend, stretch to the right. Open that left side. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend, stretch to the left. Open the right side. Go once more each side. So pull the waist in as you lift. And stretch over to the right. Pull the waist in as you lift. And stretch over to the left. Inhale back to center. Take the hands out in front of you and then turn the fingers out to the side and all the way down to the floor, so the thumbs are out to the side. So you've got hands pushing away from you, thumbs out. Take the fingertips to the floor and then push the heels of the hands down. So there's a stretch in the forearms. If you've been sat at a desk or a laptop all day working through the wrists, then you're going to feel this. So round the chin into the chest. Stretch into the back of the shoulder blades at the same time. Move the heels of the hands down. Bowing the chin in. Start to activate around the abdominals. Pull the waist in. And then release. Give the hands a little shake and wriggle out. Bring the hands forward, step the knees back. So find 4 points of contact on your mat. Hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Waist pulls in, not just at the front, but pulls in from the side. Take an inhale, send the tailbone back, the chest forward. And then exhale, keeping a continuous breath round out through the spine. Inhale, send the heart forwards, look forwards, move the shoulder blades down the back so we contract the back body just as much as we open the front body. Exhale, round, contract the front, open the back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, round. So it's an active, purposeful movement. Really trying to explore the space in the back, see how the body feels, waking up through the spine, through the shoulders, through the hips, all the way into the neck by using the chin into the chest. And then when you look forwards, taking that gaze towards the wall in front of you, to the top of the wall. On the next one, we'll round the spine. Stay there with a rounded spine, and then swing the body over to the left, draw rotations through the spine. So you're still rounding, you're still extending and curling, but now we're adding this big rotational movement. So let the elbows bend as well. Wriggling into the hips, the side of the waist, the obliques. Stretching through the rib cage so we really open the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And again, don't be afraid to bring the chin into the chest to look up so that we also use and move right into the back of the neck. We'll take one more and stop at the next inhale, so at the top of the movement. And then start to rotate in the opposite direction. So we get used to the idea of moving both ways, balancing out both sides of our practice. We all have a favorite side, and it tends to be the side that we start on so often. So just make sure that you give that second side as much attention as you do the first side. Keeping the breath going. So remember, if you lose the breath, you're going to make it harder for yourself. You wouldn't run a race and stop breathing when things get hard. So make sure you keep that breath all the way through the practice. Come to center. Tuck the toes, stretch it back into downward dog. Lengthen the heels away. Pull the waist in. Feel that stretch through the calves. And I want you to move in your down dog. So pedal, bend the knees, rock the hips, wriggle. Do whatever you need to do to bring some life back into the body. If it's been a pretty stagnant afternoon, if you've been quite still, maybe at the computer, then really wriggle and jiggle around. Take the right leg up to the sky, bend the right knee, open the right hip. Can you squeeze that right heel in towards the back of the hips? And can you keep the shoulders and the arms pretty much level? Other side, place the right foot down. Take the left leg all the way up, then bend the left knee, open the left hip, bringing that left heel in towards the back of the hips. Pushing into both hands. And then step the feet together, bend and soften the knees, walk the feet forwards. You can keep a bend, no need to fully straighten out and force anything into the back of the legs. The upper body just wants to relax down over the lower body, fully release through the shoulders, the head and the neck. Going to spend a lot of time pushing through your hands in the practice, so enjoy taking the weight off the wrists and the arms. Cradle, hold opposite elbows, and add some momentum to your forward fold. So add some movement from left to right, seeing if that movement can help you open, lengthen, not just the side of the body, but the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, maybe even feeling it into the calves, the back of the ankles, the Achilles. And then find stillness. Close the feet together. So if they were hip width apart, I just want you to bring the feet together, squeeze between the ankles and the toes. Pull the waist in, curl up through the spine. So roll up through the spine, pulling in, squeeze the glutes as you come to standing. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Interlace the hands, flip the heels of the hands once more, lift the chest. And then exhale, let the arms come down by the side, palms face forwards for Tadasana. So standing there, active stance, push to the feet. Engage up through the thighs, lift the chest, pulling the waist in, not just from the front, but from the side. So all around the waistband of the trousers or the shorts, can you pull the waist in and feel that contraction around the spine? Bring the hands to prayer heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips. You can bend and soften the knees if you like. Take the hands down to the floor. Inhale, extend and lengthen through the crown of the head. So reach the crown of the head to the wall in front of you. Exhale, take the right leg back, lower the right knee. Inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. From here, lifting through the chest and the hips, hold opposite elbows up and above the head. Keep the gaze forwards and stay active through that right hip. So engage the glutes, the back of the right hip. Don't just dive into the front of the right hip. I want you to feel strong through the hip flexors, through the front of that hip. So engage and squeeze the glute. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. And then lift the back knee off the floor. So straighten that right leg, hands stay down. And then left arm reaches up to the sky, twist over to the left. Pull down the line of that left thigh. So draw the left thigh back in order to be able to pull that right hip forwards. So make sure there's length in the left side of the waist, trying to avoid squashing the left side of the waist or hunching that left hip up. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, let the left hand come down. Step back to downward facing dog. Push the hands into the floor, push the heels into the ground. Notice if you start to drop into the chest because it's easier than using your strength. I want you to think about pushing into the back of the shoulders. So not just letting the front of the body collapse, but holding yourself in a strong straight line from the hips, through the ribs, through the shoulders and down to the hands. Bend into the knees, rise to the tiptoes. Tiptoe the feet forward, so take your time, lots of small little steps. So we open the soles of the feet. If you've got the space in your hamstrings, you can try and keep the hips nice and high, and then forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, lift nice and tall. Exhale, go straight back down for the left hand side. So take it forwards, hands to the ground. Inhale, extend the spine. So straight long line out through the spine and the crown of the head. Exhale, take the left leg back, lower the left knee. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Hold on to opposite elbows, lift the chest. So engage that left hip. So I want you to squeeze the left glute so you're not just dropping into that left hip. It's supported and strong. Don't just want to open without any support or strength. Keep lifting the chest. Keep lengthening the sides of the waist. So you can actually imagine you're lifting those elbows. So you've got the opposite elbow and you're lifting them up towards the ceiling. Notice the difference that makes into your stretch. And then take the hands down to the ground. Lift the left knee off the floor. Keep the left hand in contact with the ground and reach the right arm up to the sky and twist. Pull that right thigh back and encourage the left hip forwards. More twist. The twist is not just your upper body, it's all the way down through the body. So to the abdominals, can you pull the belly button so it moves more over the right thigh? Take an inhale breath. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Step back to your downward facing dog. Lifting back through the hips. The more you lift the hips, the more pressure we take off the lower back, the more stretch we get through the arms, the shoulders, as well as through the hamstrings and the lower back. Rise to the tiptoes. If you want to, bend the knees. If your hamstrings feel okay, keep the legs quite straight and tiptoe the feet in. Just to where you're comfortable, bending the knees as and when you need to, resting in a forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. And then this time, exhale, sit to your chair. So pull the waist in, squeeze through the thighs. Wherever you've gone to in your normal chair, pull yourself back upright, even if you lose the depth in the thighs. I want to think more about the strength in the back. We'll do plenty of work to strengthen the legs later. Pulling the waist in, lifting the chest tall. Arms come down by the side, interlace the hands behind the back. Pull the interlace of hands away from the body, squeeze the shoulders together. Bend the knees, fold it forwards, chest to thighs, chin in, neck long and heavy, so neutral neck. Reaching the hands up and over to open through the front of the shoulder joints. Take an inhale breath and an exhale breath. Let the hands come to the floor. Inhale, extend the spine, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, take a step back with the right leg, and this time we're going to keep the knee lifted. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, high lunge. So lift through the chest, and then lower into the hips. Lift through the chest, and lower to the hips. One more here, lift to the chest. Lower all the way down with the back knee. Rest that back knee to the floor, hands in prayer, and slide the right elbow outside of the left knee. So when you start, the thumbs will be up by that left shoulder. I want you to push down into the right tricep, the right elbow, so the thumbs start to come towards the center of the chest. We pull the chest up towards the ceiling. Feel that deep twist all the way down into the waist. If it's too much and you're restricting the breath, back off from the stretch a little. Shouldn't be going too far that it reduces the capacity to take a nice big full breath. Inhale, come back to center, reach the arms up to the sky. Gaze to the ceiling if it's okay to take more of a back bend. Exhale, take the hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Take a breath in and a breath out. Roll it forwards to your plank position. Everyone lower the knees. Keep the waist pulling in, slowly elbows bend to the side. We take it all the way down to the floor. Point the toes, lift the hands off the floor. Keep the elbows reaching up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. 3 more there. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Last 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Stay there. Push the hands to the ground, toes pointed. Push all the way into the hands, come up more, either just to the hips or all the way into your up dog, hips off the floor. The pressure is down through the tops of my feet. Rest the knees. Tuck the toes, take it back to down dog, pull the waist in, lift back and up through the hips. Relax the head. And remember that the class is all levels. So if anything seems too much or you want to take rest at any time, then please do. And likewise, if you want to make things stronger, maybe you take full chaturangas for your vinyasa, etc. If you've got a more advanced practice, you don't need me to tell you what to do. Bend the knees. Walk the feet into the hands, bring it all the way forward. Roll up through the spine, push it into the feet, reach the arms up to the sky. On the exhale breath, your chair. So squeezing the knees and the thighs. Close the gap between the hands. So see the difference that makes through the back of the shoulders. And then bring the biceps and the ears in line, not by dropping the head forwards, but by pulling the arms back. So there should be awakening through the back of the shoulders. Dive it forwards, hands to the floor, bow the head in. Inhale, lengthen the spine, extend. Exhale, long step back with the left leg. Keep the knee lifted, reach the arms up to the sky. So breathing in to lift the chest, breathing out to stretch more through that left hip. Breathing in to lift the chest. And breathing out to move into that left hip. Take another full breath. Exhale, lower the back knee all the way down. Hands to prayer. Twist that left elbow outside of the right thigh, so your thumbs will be up in line with the right shoulder. Push down. Now the thumbs come to the center of the chest. Feel the twist all the way through the spine, keeping the breath. Remember, if you are struggling with the breath, back off from the twist, don't go as far. Make sure you get that full big breath in. Pull the waist to help you twist further if that's where you want to go. Take another inhale. And exhale, look to the floor, take the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Roll to your plank position. Choice to rest the knees and then take the chin and the chest down, or to bend the elbows and lower till the elbows come to 90 degrees. Then we'll all come up to a slight back bend, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Push into the hands. Make sure there's space around the shoulders and the ears. Rest the knees. Everyone sit the hips back to the heels. Rest to a child's pose. And then bring the arms down by the side. So we give the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders a break. Rock the hips if you like, maybe rock the forehead. Massaging any tension, any stress away. Keeping the breath going. You might even notice here the movement of the belly into the thighs. How the breath expands the front of the body and softens on the retraction. Find stillness. One more full breath. Exhale, reach the arms out in front of you. Push down into the hands, rise to all fours, hands and knees. Now keep the knees and the hips where they are. So stay where you are with the hips. Walk the hands out in front of you and let the chest come to the floor. So we're moving the chest down. Stay strong and active through the shoulders. So you can pull the waist in here. Sometimes in our yoga practice, we drop completely into more of a puppy stretch, but I'd rather you keep it quite active and strong. So pull the waist in. And then with time, keeping it active and strong, you'll still be able to take the chest to the floor, but you'll have some control around the front of the body and the front of the shoulders. So it should feel quite active through the shoulders. Take an inhale breath and exhale. Inhale breath and exhale. Look to the hands. Be careful as you walk it in. So bring the weight up first and then bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, take it back to your downward facing dog. And just thinking about the shoulder position, I want you to think about the eyes of the elbow, so the center of the elbow. Can you take the center of the elbow so it almost faces forwards to the top of the mat? So that means the triceps are going to wrap slightly underneath the arms. Eye of the elbow will face forwards, and there'll be a bit less compression around the front of the shoulder, the joints in the front of the shoulder. Reach the right leg up to the sky. Kick that right heel away. Not bending or opening the hip, just trying to kick that right heel as high as is possible towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Bring the right knee into the chest, step the right foot forwards, high lunge, keep the back knee off the floor, reach the arms up to the sky. Inhale, breath. Exhale, one. Inhale, breath. Exhale, two. Inhale, breath. Exhale, three. Right arm forwards, left arm back. Open into your warrior two. So left toes will face out to the side. Right knee still moves forwards. Pull in through the waist. So pull everything inwards and upwards. Squeeze both glutes on and push down into both feet. So you can glance to that back foot and just make sure you're not collapsing inwards on the back foot. Flip the right palm, inhale, reach the right arm to the ceiling, open that right side of the waist, reach back through the right fingertips. Exhale, come forwards, elbow to knee, sweep the left arm up and over. One straight, strong line out through those left fingertips, down through the left hip, to the outside edge of the left foot. Take an inhale breath. And an exhale, come back to your warrior two. Straighten the arms and the legs. Reach the arms up, bring the right toes in. Interlace the hands, flip the heels of the hands, reach them up. Now keep the legs on, so they've got to be really strong as we're not using our upper body. Hinge at the hips, keeping the biceps and the ears in line. So slowly bring it forwards. And we're holding, so as far as you can go, strengthening through the upper body. Hold it for 3. Pull the waist in for 2. On 1, relax, hold the outside of the thighs. Pull down and in. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Close the gap between the belly and the thigh. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Hands to the floor. Come up, so just push down into the hands to lift the chest. Now walk the hands over to the right foot. As you do so, turn the left toes to face forward and move them in slightly. So 2 or 3 feet between the right foot and the left foot. Bow into the forward fold. Pull the waist in as you move forwards. If it's too much, slightly soften the knees. Just get used to the sensation of the upper body resting on the right thigh. And then once you're comfortable with the knees bent, you can slowly think about straightening them. It might take some time, there's no force, no rush. Relaxing through the head. Pushing into the feet, so make a firm foundation. Left hand, step it just next to the inside of the right foot. You can be on the fingertips. Reach the right hand to the right hip, and then pull the right elbow up towards the ceiling to open the chest towards the right side of the room. Stay there if that's enough through the outside of the right thigh. If you want a little bit more, reach that right arm up to the ceiling to lift and open the chest towards the right side of the room. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Bring that right hand down. Now adjust the back foot, so take it back a little. Rest the left knee to the floor. And then point the left toes, sit back onto that left leg. So normally we hold it about here, we don't go all the way back. If it's okay on the left knee, I want you to come all the way back. If you've got knee problems and that's a little bit nasty, then for now, you just stay here and stretch the hamstring. If you can come all the way down when resting here, pulling the toes back to the face so there's still a hamstring stretch. Arms out to the side slightly and bow the head in. Keep active, so keep these right toes pulling back. So it means you've got to engage through the right thigh, pulling the waist in, bringing yourself deeper into that forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. And then coming up, so if you were in that hamstring stretch, bending into the front knee. If you're back on the knee, bending into the front knee to come out of it. Bring both hands inside of that right foot. And then adjust, take the left knee back point the left toes, look and gaze forwards. So we stretch and open through that left hip. And if you like, bring it to elbows. If you're halfway between hands and elbows, you might just lower one elbow at a time, or you lower to both. But wherever you are, you make sure that the head and the neck relaxes. What happens in the neck gets mirrored in the lower back and the sacrum area. So if we crease the neck and look forwards, it means the tailbone flares back slightly and there's compression in the lumbar spine. So if we let the head and the neck relax, you have the same effect through the back of the sacrum, which is what we want for now. You can keep the waist drawing in though, so that we keep that stretch through the left thigh. And then walk it to the hands. Take the right knee back next to the left knee, and just both knees onto the floor. Readjust the hands, push them down, tuck the toes, take it back to your downward facing dog. You can notice the difference there between the left side and the right side. That eye of the elbow, can you send it forwards, wrapping the triceps under shoulder blades, wrapping around the side of the body. Head and neck lengthening, long, no tension. Take an inhale breath, reach the left leg up to the sky. Lift back through that left heel. So I'm not opening the hip, keeping the left heel directly back, the hip facing down. And then the left knee coming into the chest, step the left foot forwards, push into both feet, rise up, high lunge. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Left arm forwards, move slowly, right arm back, feet adjust, come into your warrior 2. Stretch it out wide, squeeze the glutes on, pull the waist inwards and upwards. Flip the left palm, inhale, reach to the ceiling, arch the body back. Exhale, left elbow forwards, right arm up and over, stretch away through those right fingertips. Sit low, hold it there. Straight long line, make sure you're not collapsing onto the inside arch of the right foot. Bring it back to warrior 2. Straighten the legs, reach the arms to the ceiling, pull the left toes and the right toes in. Now take the hands behind the back, hold opposite elbows, so your forearms are close to one another. Engage the thighs, so lift the kneecaps up the legs. Hinging at the hips, so take the torso forwards, keep a long straight line through the spine. And then stop the moment you think you'd have to round the spine. So we want to hold that straight line for 3. Keep breathing for 2. On 1, let the chin come in, let the body bow forwards so the upper back can round. And as it rounds, try and lift the forearms away from the back. So there's more space in the front of the shoulders. Let the weight travel into the front half of the feet. Trust yourself to take the balance a little bit further. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Another full inhale. And exhale, let the hands go, let the hands come down. Walk the hands to frame the left foot. Adjust that back foot so the toes face forwards. Just make sure you're not on a tightrope. So think about being on a ladder rather than being on a tightrope. The body is bending forwards, remembering if it's too much to bend and soften through the knees, and get used to letting the spine hang forwards in your fold before you encourage the length through the back of the legs. Pull the waist in to help you with the fold. So if we engage the hip flexors, then we're going to move more towards that front thigh. Take an inhale breath.
And an exhale. Take an inhale breath. And an exhale. One more inhale. As you exhale, right hand moves, so it's just next to the left foot, inside of the left foot. Left hand comes to the left hip. Now lift the elbow up to the ceiling. You'll start to feel the chest open to the left. And then if you want a bit more, if it's not too much, through the outside of the left thigh, reach the left arm up to the ceiling. I was going to say I used to hate this posture, but I still kind of do hate this posture. So bear with it. I know it's intense through the outside of the left leg. Try and lift up through the inner thighs. Hold it for 3. More for 2. On 1, left hand comes down. And then remember there's 2 options depending how the knees are. So option 1, I'll give you first. That back knee is down and you're just straightening the left leg like we do very often to open the back of that leg. The other option is sitting all the way back to that right knee and the right thigh, keeping the toes pulling back so we don't lose the intensity through the left hamstring. Bowing the body forwards. So you have to keep that left thigh recruited, have to pull the toes back to the face. Breathing here. And out 1. Breathing in. And out 2. Inhale breath. And out 3. Inhale. Out 4. Bring the hands inside of the left foot. Come off that back knee as you bend into the left knee. Adjust, so you might need to walk that left foot further forwards. We all want to have hands down to the floor, back knee down, chest opens, look forwards. So we're stretching and opening through the thighs, through the right thigh, the back of the left thigh and hip. Keep the shoulders pulling back, resting to maybe 1 elbow or maybe 2. Relaxing the head so that that relaxed curve through the neck is the same that we experience through the sacrum and the lower back. Space through the back of the shoulders. Easy, continuous breath. Keeping it with you, keeping your focus and keeping the heat that we've cultivated inside the body for our last few stretches or last few asanas. And then walking back up to the hands, stepping that left foot back so we come into a downward facing dog. Lifting the hips high to the sky, pushing down into the hands, space underneath the shoulders. And then looking to the hands, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand and step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And then start to sit the hips back, come down into your squat. Reach the arms forward. So if you're not quite all the way down or the heels are lifted, just stay where you are and slowly with time, we'll come lower into the squat. If you're in your squat and the heels are down, I want you to think about, can you move the knees out sideways? So can you recruit the glutes? Pull the knees out to the side. And then driving into the balls of the feet, push down to stand up. Reach the arms up to the sky, hands into prayer. Prayer into heart center, wriggle the feet close together. Closing the eyes, standing tall, steadying the breath. And then we're going to take the left arm out to the side. Palm face forward, thumb faces back. So just make sure the palm isn't facing into the body. Want it to be facing out. So chest is open. Bend the left knee, hold the inside of the left foot. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Now, if the left shoulder is pulling you all the way around to the left side,
pull yourself forwards, bend that right knee a little, and then let the body move forwards as the left leg kicks back. So we've got this big round curve through the front of the body, but we're strengthening the back of the body. So squeeze the left glute and be strong through the back. So contract through the back, not just an opening through the front. And then let it go. Step the feet together, arms down by the side, palms face forwards, close the eyes. Notice the sensation in each side of the body. Notice any imbalance, any difference. As we move to the other side, take the right arm out. Palm faces over to the right side of the room. Thumb faces up behind you, not down to the ground. Bend the right knee, hold the inside of the right ankle. This might just be where you stay, and there might be loads of stretch there through the right shoulder. Reach the left arm up. Keep the chest and the torso facing forwards. And then a very slight movement forwards as you kick the right leg back. That could just be a centimeter of movement, a really tiny amount. But if you feel it, that's all that matters. If you're taking the body all the way down, make sure you're kicking the leg all the way back, creating a nice even stretch through the body. Hold it for 3. Lift the chest for 2. On 1, release the feet. Arms down by the side, palms face forwards, close the eyes. Breathe in. Sigh out. Breathe in. Sigh out. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, soften and fold. Take the chest to fall down over the lower body. Relax the head in. Wrap the arms around the backs of the knees. Hold opposite elbows. Lift the hips as you keep the chest and the body in contact with the thighs. So you're trying to open the back of the legs, but also the back of the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and draw the chin into the chest. Hold that nice, secure, strong forward fold for 3, for 2, and on 1. Slowly, without using the hands, see if you can bend the knees and bring the hips to the floor, even if you fall a little. If you fell, come back. Hover the toes off the ground. Try and keep the thighs in nice and close to the chest. Try and keep the chest lifted close towards the thighs. And then what I want you to do is draw the toes back to the face. Reach the hands forwards, take the first 2 fingers and hook around the big toe. So you might just be staying here. That might be challenging the balance enough. If you want to, you can start to think about straightening the legs, and they might not go straight. There might still be tension and a stretch through the hamstrings without the legs straightening. Trying to keep the chest lifted. If you want more, take the legs out to the side, lift the chest forwards, balancing just off the back of the seat bones. Closing it back together. You had the legs to your variation of straight. Start to bend the knees without falling back. Bring the hands away. Take the arms away. And then hold on to the front of the shins. Rock back to the floor. Move the knees from side to side. Massage through the back. All the way round. Maybe draw circles with the hips. Okay, and then plant the feet to the ground. Arms push down, so push into the palms of the hands, push into the triceps, push into the heel, the outside edge of the foot, all 5 toes, and then lift the hips up to the sky. So squeeze through the glutes, push more into the arms. As you push the big toe down, I want you to contract more through the glutes and feel that strength there in this back bend. Holding it here for 5.
pushing into the big toe for 4, for 3, 2, 1. Roll it down, so carefully roll it down. Slowly make contact with the spine and the ground. Last thing to come down is the tailbone. Arms cactus out to the side. Wriggle the feet wider on the mat and just rock from side to side. So knees to the left, back to center, knees to the right, through center to the left, through center to the right. Come back to center, let them drop to the left and hold them there. Gaze to the right hand side. Can you encourage that right knee down to the floor so that the stretch through the right hip and the right side of the waist increases? Settle the right shoulder down to the ground. Lengthen the right side of the body. Bring it to center. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. Move that left knee down so the stretch becomes more intense. And then bring it back to the center. Hug the knees in. Take hold of the soles of the feet for happy baby. So knees stay bent, feet push up towards the sky. Try and relax the shoulders down. Let the hips relax down, sacrum down, and then a gentle rock from side to side. The movement left and right. And then take the feet down. Take the arms out to the side, palms face up. Walk the right foot down to the right corner of the mat. Left foot down to the left corner of the mat. Toes turn out. Ankles relax. Knees relax. Hips. Lower back. Torso. Shoulders. Elbows. Palms of the hands. Full body relax. Heavy and comfortable into the mat. And whilst the back of the body sinks down, notice how much space there is across the chest, so how much room you've got to invite a full breath in. Same through the hips, and no restriction, no restraint. Breathe and expand into the front of the body. Notice how the physical body feels. And then notice mentally how you feel, clarity, stillness. Start to wriggle the fingers and the toes. Start to roll the wrists, roll the ankles, interlace the hands, stretch the interlace of the hands away, pointing through the toes, and then draw the toes back to the face. Pull the knees into the chest, give yourself a final big hug, a squeeze in. Eyes stay closed if you can. Rock up to a seat, cross the legs. Flip the palms so they face up. We come back to that seat that we started our practice with. So see how it feels now. Is it easier, taller, more grounded? Noticing the space across the collarbones. And if you set
an intention when we scanned the body, if there was an area that we were trying to be cautious or aware of, particularly throughout the practice, then see now how that feels. We'll all bring our hands into heart center together. Bow the chin into the chest. Thank yourself for practice, for joining me this evening. Namaste.